State management can be very complex. React is great at reacting to state changes and updating the UI accordingly, but managing that state can get very difficult as our application grows. Of course, React gives us the built-in state property which we used thus far, but we could already see in our Burger Builder project that passing the ingredients from component A to component B can be very difficult, and we had to use routing query parameters for that. Certainly a workaround, but not a very elegant one. So state management should be easier. The example from the Burger Builder is a classical example, nothing special. Consider this application, which is not the one we built. It's an app with the root app component, and then a users and a products container, and some subcomponents. Now let's say we have authentication added to this application, so users can sign up and sign in. To access the dashboard in the users area, we need to check if the user is signed in and only grant access if that resolves to a true. Now checking that isn't too difficult because we're probably managing the authentication status in the auth component over there. The problem now is, what if we also need that information in a totally different area of our app, like in the Burger Builder, where we need ingredients in a totally different area of the app, in the checkout. If we need information there, we somehow have to create a connection between the auth component and our cart component here. Well, that is super complex and a very long chain of props or query params or however we manage to pass data around. It's a pity that it is this difficult because in the end, we're writing JavaScript, right? And we're having a bundled JavaScript file as an output, or a couple of bundles if we're using lazy loading. So in the end, why can't we just set some global variable, which is a JavaScript object, which stores our entire application state and which we can access from anywhere? Why do we have to take the complicated route with query parameters if all we do is just use JavaScript in the end? The reason is that React's reactivity system doesn't react to changes in some global variable you defined. And it's good that it doesn't, that makes it so efficient. However, having this global store still sounds very interesting. And that's exactly what Redux is about, as you will learn. So let's take a closer look at Redux before we then implement it to see how it works in action.